From Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News celebrates 75 years.
Good evening. I'm Courtney Johns. Emily and Glenn are off tonight. Thanks for joining us. Today is game day at Rose Bowl Stadium, and the Utes are in California, the second year running, taking on Penn State. Wesley Ruff joins us live in studio with the latest, and a lot of pressure on the Utes, Wes.
There is indeed, as they try to win the Rose Bowl for the first time. The Utes felt like they have some unfinished business after losing their last year in the Rose Bowl. Today, they wanted to make sure that that didn't happen again. Big crowd on hand, a lot of red in the stands for this one. The Utes trailing 7-0 early in the second quarter, rising with the 1-yard touchdown pass to his tight end, Thomas Yasman, at 7-7. But Penn State comes right back, 5-yard pass to regain the lead. But Utah would tie it up again. Jaquindon Jackson spins, then takes off, breaks tackles, goes 19 yards. The game is now tied up at 14 at the half. Third quarter just about ready to get underway. We'll have more highlights coming up later in our sportscast. Courtney?
All right, thank you, Wes. And happening now, fans who couldn't make it out to California to watch the Utes are gathering across the state to the second best stadium, the local sports bar. You can find a ton of people decked out in red at the Green Pig Pub in Salt Lake City. While their eyes are glued to the screen, we did manage to get one question answered. What are the odds the Utes will end the night with a win?
Yes, I do. Go Utes.
I hope so. Yeah. Pessimistic. Yeah, no, they'll win.
I like that optimism there. Okay, so if you are looking for a post-game party afterwards, you can find it right here on ABC4 News at 9:30. Wes and Dana will have all the highlights from the big game. And now to devastating news out of Provo, where we are learning one person has died in a plane crash at the Provo airfield. Provo city officials tell us 4 people were on board. The plane crashing shortly after takeoff around noon today. We're told one person has died, another is in critical condition, and the remaining 2 have just bumps and bruises. There will be no new flights in or out of the airport until tomorrow at noon, and the FAA and National Transportation Safety Bureau are investigating that crash. And a weather alert, Utah is reeling from an unreal weekend of powder piling up in the mountains and some of the valleys. It's left behind heavy, wet snow on cars, causing danger on the road. Utah Highway Patrol says they responded to 450 crashes over the weekend and another 150 just today. UHP says one crash sparked a collision involving 10 cars. You can see it right there, that crash happening on I-15 northbound at 5th South. Now, luckily, in this case, no one was injured. And while all of that was going on, Rocky Mountain Power electricians have been working around the clock after that snow snapped power lines and downed electricity poles. More than 10,000 homes lost power yesterday. And while things are improving tonight, just around 4,100 homes still do not have power. And we are following team coverage on that snow and how much more we can expect. So we've got ABC4's Kate Garner out at the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon, where skiers and riders have been in bumper-to-bumper traffic, with resorts and their parking lots just packed with people. But first, we're going to check in with meteorologist Nate Larson, who is in for Alana Brophy today. And Nate, the amount of snow that we have gotten is just incredible.
Unreal to see the amount of moisture that was in the snowfall, Courtney, and how much has really piled up. 10 inches over that of moisture at Sundance, equating to about 4, even almost 5 feet in our mountain areas. And we can't get rid of the snow showers in northern Utah. Still some light flakes coming down here at the studio. Down in St. George, it's still cloudy. We've got moisture increasing overnight. In fact, we could see some snowflakes fly in St. George overnight. I look at some of the moisture, most of it just south of the Great Salt Lake into the Tooele Valley. They had over a foot of snowfall with our storm system that's moved through, and just a few spotty flurries across some of northern Utah, some down in Utah Valley as well. East central part of the state still dealing with some rain and snow showers as the moisture continues to rotate around the low that's to the east of us, so we're getting wraparound moisture. Pretty quiet for the most part, but north of Moab still dealing with some showers in the Canyonland areas. Looking at futurecast, we'll continue to see moisture hang on. In fact, along the Wasatch Front, models continue to show we could have enough moisture overnight and enough instability to generate some light snow showers. Could see some very minor accumulations, maybe a half of an inch. Over southern Utah, though, we have a better chance of some minor accumulations, maybe an inch or 2 as moisture moves through. St. George could be cold enough in lower Washington County to see some of that half of an inch, maybe an inch of snow into tomorrow morning. Overnight lows near 33 with rain snow showers, about 27 in Salt Lake, again with light snow as well. Courtney?
All right, thank you, Nate. And today, thousands of people are taking advantage of having the day off by visiting Utah's many ski resorts. And we have ABC reporter Kate Garner joining us live from Little Cottonwood Canyon. Kate, how's the traffic out there now?
Well, Courtney, throughout the day, it's been, let's say, 3 words: busy, busy, busy. You can see all of the fresh snow behind me, and that's just part of the reason that tons and tons of people made the trip up both Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Now, let's take a look at this video from earlier today. This is all the traffic we were seeing. You can tell it's just bumper to bumper this morning through the afternoon. Now, traction laws are in effect for those going up and down the canyon, and by noon, resorts reported full parking at their parking lots and began turning people around. Police started issuing tickets for those who were parking illegally along the road, and slick roads were adding to drive time. UTA buses saw delays of up to an hour going up to the resorts. Now, UDOT is warning drivers in the area that there will most likely be significant traffic into the evening as people head back down the mountain to go home.
Yeah, those roads are just crazy busy. And Kate, I know it was also a busy day for you. I heard that you spent some time in Salem for a polar plunge. So I need to know, did you dive or did you do a cannonball?
No, Courtney, you know, I grew up in Arizona, so I didn't really muster up the courage to jump on in. Even though I wasn't brave enough to do it, though, about 100 people started the year off by jumping into some cold water.
This is the 8th annual Pond Town Polar Plunge in Salem.
It was very cold, but refreshing, and it felt good.
Jefferson Chase is the organizer of the event.
The first year we did it in 2016, there was only 6 of us. Through the years, it has grown to what you see now. We have over 80 to 90 people jumping in and a lot of support from friends and family who come and watch.
This is the first time in my life that I see snow, and this is the first time in my life that I do something like this crazy.
Mitchell Nunez drove down from Provo.
To be honest, it was really cold. Take a deep breath and everything starts to work again.
You might wonder if everyone who's coming out here today is just jumping in the water and freezing for fun, but there's actually a purpose. You could say they're freezing for a reason.
First day of the year, challenge yourself to accomplish something hard, and that way you can look back through the year and be able to say, you know what, I did something challenging the first day of the year. I can do more hard things.
I think it works, to be honest.
Not only do participants look inward during the plunge, but extend a helping hand outward as well.
The event is free every year, but what we ask is that if people do feel like they want to donate, then they can go to a Venmo account, which is the Live for Levi Foundation Venmo account, and they can donate to that fundraiser.
In Salem, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.
Oh, that looks very cold out there. I don't blame Cade for not jumping in. Now, a big priority at the Polar Plunge is making sure that no one goes into shock over the cold. So that's something that they are always monitoring. Meanwhile, in the mountains, major concern is avalanches. This one right here happened in Little Cottonwood Canyon. The canyon, as well as the resorts, Alta and Snowbird, shutting down from New Year's Eve until just this morning while crews worked on avalanche mitigation and clearing roads. Avalanche experts say this new layer of snow is different than what we're used to seeing here in Utah. The snow is heavy and wet, which can easily cause snow slides. Experts tell skiers and riders to stick to groomed ski resorts and avoid the backcountry.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, we're at a level 4, in some places a level 5. This is the real deal. This is nothing to mess around with. These are tree snapping, bone crushing, not come home to our family kinds of avalanches once they're triggered in the backcountry.
Yikes. Yeah, it is certainly the real deal. Right now, the risk for avalanches is high across the state. The Utah Avalanche Center says if you plan to hike or ski in the snow, make sure you have a safety kit handy in case an avalanche hits. In international news, the Vatican is releasing more details about the upcoming funeral of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI. In the meantime, tens of thousands of mourners are lining up to see the former pope one last time as he lies in state inside St. Peter's Basilica. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the latest.
A steady stream of mourners filing into St. Peter's Basilica all day to see Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI lying in state. Some of the mourners taking photos of the former pope's body, there on a bier with pillows, adorned with a bishop headgear and a rosary in his hands.
You could feel the emotions he had before he died. That's what my impression was.
Christine Johnson is visiting from California.
I'm very emotional. My daughter was born right when he became Pope.
Papal admirers and grieving Catholics expected to continue joining the queue to pay their final respect until the former Pope's funeral on Thursday. Vatican security estimates about 65,000 people came by to see the late pontiff on Monday alone. Benedict XVI served as the leader of the Catholic Church for just under 8 years. He stunned the world in 2013 when he stepped down from the lifetime position, citing his declining health. It was the first resignation of a pope in 600 years. The 95-year-old admired for his traditional teachings and conservative leadership, but also criticized for not doing more after the sex abuse scandal that rocked the church. He eventually met with the sex abuse victims and publicly acknowledged their trauma. His death now setting up a historic moment where current pope will preside over his predecessor's funeral mass. And Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI will be buried in St. Peter's Crypt immediately after his funeral on Thursday. It's unclear at this point whether any officials from the U.S. will attend in a private capacity, since the Italians and Germans are the only two official delegations invited to the funeral. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Thank you, Faith. And tonight at 10, ABC4 News isn't just Utah's first TV station. We're also the first to make television an integral part of the New Year's Eve celebration. We'll take you back to the end of 1948 and the beginning of 1949, years before those national New Year's broadcasts, when our station brought the party live from our studio to your living rooms. So tonight at 10, we will take a look back at how ABC4 News rang in the new year for the very first time. And tonight's worth watching. Still ahead, the weather pattern wreaking havoc across California. Stay tuned for the deadly atmospheric river forcing evacuations and the flooding in the drought-stricken state.
All right, plus we've got a live look. This is a view of Logan Canyon. Yeah, we've all had a good amount of snowfall with our storm systems over the weekend into the new year. We still have avalanche warnings. They're high. We'll talk about how long the avalanche warnings are in place. Details coming up after the break.